Speaking of this story now, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and cybercrime is currently the most prevalent form of crime worldwide. South Africa is on the verge of becoming Africa's cybercrime capital. Let's discuss this now. I'm joined by forensic investigator at Bizz Tracers, Kelvin Rafadi. Kelvin, good afternoon. I mean, how bad is cybercrime in South Africa from your knowledge?
Good afternoon, Braden, and to your viewers. Yeah, no, in South Africa, it is really bad because we realize that a lot of guys are flocking into South Africa, especially in your Gauteng region, whereby is the main hub, of the economy in Africa. And then more people are vulnerable, so there are great opportunities. So these criminals, they tend to have their own network and plug it onto these systems of Gauteng, and also target certain victims which are unsuspecting of this particular crime, and then it is rife in Gauteng as well and in South Africa.
You know, we all have known about the kinds of other scams that over the years in Africa have transformed or transitioned into the cyber platforms, like Nigeria's famous 419 scam. But it looks like in Nigeria they've managed to really keep cybercrime low. Why are we not succeeding to do the same here, Calvin?
Yeah, I think it goes with the punishment. So these criminals, they act with impunity. And besides, they check what are the loopholes and measures that are there. And like I said, Braden, that most of our people, they are unsuspicious of this particular type of crimes. So there are new methods every now and then. And if we don't make awareness into our communities of their latest scams, and then they fall victim. So I guess how they get it right is to make certain awareness and there's enough punishment when they are caught. But here in South Africa, I mean, recently over the weekend, we even heard that our state security could have been hacked. So we're not surprised. But I think, Braden, this afternoon I can just throw in some of the, the pressing points.
Kelvin, before you share those pressing points with you, just an overriding question. Do you know, and from your experience, do our police, the SAPS, do they have the capacity and the skills to deal with cybercrime?
Yes, no, they do have the capacity because they all fall under what we call the Act 19 of 2020. So the main thing is that to prepare such cases now for court purposes, like the seizure of evidence, it's very crucial to prosecute this particular people, and also they've got the capacity to trace them as well.
And do we have enough people trained?
I would say we do not have enough people trained, but if the police can partnership with many people who have gone cybersecurity, learning about the latest models. That's why it's very crucial also for the police also to attend what we call the continuous professional education and workshop when it comes to the latest models and modus operandi of this type of crimes. Then it helps them a lot to know case by case what they are dealing with.
So cyber crimes are recognized now by the police as a crime, and they're not under any other umbrella. Now, what are some of the pressing issues that you wanted to highlight, Calvin?
Yeah, look, Braden, we've got it affects our individuals, whereby we urge our citizens not to, most of the time, to use free Wi-Fi's when they do their internet banking, because most of these free Wi-Fi's they are not encrypted, so they are not safe to use, especially when you do your internet banking. And most of these criminals, they target those particular platforms with what we call a Trojan malware. Now, a Trojan malware can take your information and they can easily now transact it through your account. And it's a common scam now here in South Africa. And then you get what we call the fake domains or fake website, whereby, they are very unsuspicious and people, they just click, and then they go online and then they fill that particular website with most of their information. So do not click unsuspecting domains. And then we've got this other one now, which is called the SIM swap hijack. Now, this is very common, and many people, they come to us, even to the police. They say, my information is being stolen. I don't know what happened to my phone. It just got black. It is because of this particular criminals. What they normally do, they will call you and say you have won an airtime, and unsuspiciously, so they ask you, how many people did you call today? 3 people, give names. Once you do that, they take those names, they call the service provider, they ask to do a SIM swap. But because they've got that information now, it's easy for them now to get a SIM swap. And once that happens, you know, some of the banking apps, they are your phone numbers. So they'll click and go on the app and say, forgot my password, and then boom, they are into your internet banking. And then when it comes to business must also be cautious because of, especially those who sit in finance. We realize that there's a particular web, or let me say, a sticky that they will insert at the back of your computer. So if you, Braden, you are sitting at that computer, you just go and make your copy. When you come back, they've inserted that thing. It takes all the data, all the passwords that you are about to transact, and then they give it to these criminals. And then that's why now most of the departments, they even suffer a loss of data based on this particular type of crimes that I just mentioned.
Yeah, we need to be very vigilant. Now, a final question to you, Calvin. When I started this, I said South Africa is said to be on the verge of becoming the cybercrime capital of the whole of Africa. Do you agree with that, or are we still a little bit far from reaching that terrible position?
No, but then I do agree. Like I said in the beginning, that especially Gauteng, we are the hub of Africa in terms of economy. So everybody flocks into South Africa, and then they see opportunities of scamming people through this type of method. And you know, just in closing, Braden, you'll be so shocked that because of the high number of employment, a high number of unemployment in our country, even some of our kids are recruited to join them into some of these fake call centers, whereby, you know, they will facilitate making calls and making sure that the Trojans are you know, the modus operandi of this particular criminal. But also, most of the scams nowadays, they are even run inside the prisons. The guys in prisons, they've got certain scams that they do run in prison. And like I said, with the call center. So it has become a norm, and it is rife here in Gauteng.
Wow, what a sad state of affairs. Thank you very much, Calvin Rafadi, forensic investigator at Bizz Tracers. He agrees with the statement that South Africa is on the verge of becoming the cybercrime capital of the continent of Africa.